So, in my opinion, the best way to get started with anything that you've really been wanting to do is just to start. And I know that sounds a little bit cliche, but I'm literally telling you the truth. And this is literally what I want to do when I have an idea and I feel like I'm ready to get moving with it. And I made a video a couple of days ago, and a young lady asked on one of the videos, how do I get started with my YouTube channel? If you've been thinking about starting a channel on YouTube or any other page, you've already probably been thinking about some ideas, some things you want to talk about. Maybe you have a niche that you want to explore, or maybe it's a couple of things that you can consistently talk about that are related. Pick those things and get started. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariama, and let's go a little bit more into detail. So this particular page right here, I had it for about, I'm going to say 8 years, and I had never done anything with it up until about 3 weeks ago. I think it was like the 2nd of February. And I had talked to a girlfriend several times, and I told her, you know what, I'm ready to get serious with my YouTube channel. And I was like, I'm gonna just start posting. And I had already made other videos that I shared on other platforms. So I had content to get started with. I'm gonna say the same thing to you. If you've been posting on other platforms and your videos have done well, they'll probably do well here too. So start with those videos. Don't overthink it. Just take them and put them here. Second thing I want you to do, if those videos are related, then you kind of already have a niche or something that you think you want your channel to be about. But if those videos are totally unrelated and you feel like you cannot maintain a channel by continuing to talk about random things, I want you to think about what is something or a few things that you are passionate about that you could talk about over and over again, multiple different ways, because that's literally how I'm able to produce so much content quickly. The things that I talk about, these are things that I'm passionate about, either life experiences, self-care. In a minute, I'm going to be introducing some of the travel related things that I do because somebody asked about a day in the life video. So it's things that I do that I can make them be related, and I can make multiple videos about those different things. If you already have ideas and you know that you can do the same thing, that's a great way to get your channel started. And don't overthink it. Don't think you always have to come up with some great script, because remember I said, if these are things that you are actually interested in that you can talk about naturally, it's going to be better for me anyway if it's a bit unscripted. Meaning you can sit down as if you're talking to a room or even one girlfriend, and you can have a conversation, because that's literally what I do. Now, if you need to take notes, that's fine too, because sometimes if I have something that's a bit more thorough and it's a couple of things I want to remember to talk about, I will write a few notes. Do whatever works best for you. Another thing, if you've already been thinking about starting a channel, and let's say throughout the day is different topics that come up in your head that you say, I potentially want to explore talking about that topic. Do what I do, and in your phone, create some notes. And I just call the notes content ideas. And I put them down so that when I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about, I just literally go back to my notes. And I often have several different ideas right there that I can discuss. That's your video. Now, I think she also asked if there were a few things that I would recommend if you're like new to content creating, just getting started with your channel. And actually, there are 2 things that I would recommend, and that is these 2 lights that I'm going to show you. Now, if you can only get one, start off with the bigger light. I actually got this one first, and it really is a game changer. And I hate saying game changer because that sounds so cliche as well, but it's the truth. The lighting in your videos will be 100% better if you use something that's going to help you have good lighting. This big light that I use is adjustable, so you can make it brighter or dimmer, and it has some other different light settings. I think it has a remote control, although I don't know where I put the remote control, but I believe that it came with one. And then the height is adjustable, so you can make it taller or shorter when you need to. Now, once I got that light and I realized that sometimes I was going to be doing some content sitting down, I decided I didn't want to always have to adjust it. So I went and I got this second light, which is just like the first one, except it's already shorter. So whenever I want to do content and I'm going to be standing, I use the taller light. And then whenever I want to do content and I'm going to be sitting down, I use the shorter one. But like I said, if you could only pick one to start, I would start with the taller one because it is adjustable. And I think it goes up to almost 5 feet. I can't remember exactly, but you can check them both out in either my Amazon showcase or my TikTok showcase. And I'm saying check them out in both of those places because you might find a better deal in one or the other. And I like to compare prices. So the link is in my bio for those. The other thing is pick a spot, whether it's in your home or wherever you're going to create content, that you can create your content. I have 2 different spots. So sometimes I sit in my dining room at the table, and then sometimes I have this room that used to be my content room, but once I got so many free samples of clothing and different things, it just kind of started getting overcrowded. I don't just call it the content room anymore. It's like the everything room, kind of like a closet, content, whatever. But I have a desk in there. So sometimes I sit there and do my content, or sometimes I sit in the dining room, or sometimes if I'm making, like, let's say I'm talking about some clothing or something and I need to stand, I just stand somewhere in my dining room that I think looks pretty clean and nice. So pick a spot or 2 and then use those 2 spots to make content. And then, like I said, don't overcomplicate things. Don't think of a whole bunch of extra things that you need to get, because there are other things you probably could get that might help. But I would just suggest starting with the basics. What am I going to talk about? Where am I going to make the content? And then the lighting that I'm going to use so that people can see me clearly. Those are the 3 things that I would suggest that you start with. And then just get started. I use my iPhone to record my content. I think the quality on the cameras are really, really good on iPhones, but some people like cameras. I'm not going to suggest you go out and buy an expensive camera. Use what you already have. And then once you see that you are really, really committed to doing what you said you wanted to do with your channel, then if you feel like there are some things that you can get that will enhance the quality of your videos and things like that, then get them. But at least get started with what you have and then getting a couple of things that you need. Those are my suggestions. If you have other questions, you can leave them below. I'll try to answer them as best I can. But I'm excited for everybody that is starting their channel. You have something to say. You have a story to tell. You have something that's been on your heart. I'm saying this is your year to get started. Don't put it off. Don't overthink it. Don't get analysis paralysis. Just get started.